All right, everybody. Event Marketing Redefined, Day 3 live at Exhibitor Live. Nicole Maves with me, event marketer. Nicole, thanks for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to talk a little bit about you, what you're doing here, your journey, everything. Tell me, what brings you to Exhibitor Live?
Sure. What brought me here this year was to look at what's new and exciting, hopefully increasing the budget going forward to get that
Always.
new, bigger, better, brighter booth.
Yeah.
So just to see what's new and also make some connections.
Yes.
It's always great to do that in the industry as well.
Yeah.
And I'm also all access, so I've been taking all of the courses.
Good for you.
So it's been very beneficial.
Two things there. Any relationships you've made? Any like fellow event marketers and
Yes, absolutely. So I took the international classes, which has been very beneficial for myself just because I do a lot of shows internationally and remotely.
Okay.
So it was nice hearing that I'm experiencing the same troubles, experiencing the same language barrier, just trying to get things done when you're not on site and able to do that yourself.
It's good community there, right?
Absolutely. At a table I was at yesterday, there were 3 of us having the same problem in Germany.
So you got to talk about it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's great. Any really good classes so far?
I've had some very good classes. The international ones, there was another one called Dare to Matter.
Dare to Matter. Okay,
Dare
what's
to
that?
Matter. That was just making your point, being present, how to work within a team, all very good content. I also took a LinkedIn presentation as well, and that is good for me just to see how to better market myself out there as well.
Of course. Anything you came here kind of hoping to learn, hoping to be a part of a conversation about?
I believe it was probably most, honestly, again, the international concept of it. And what was really beneficial was my last course this morning was a remote international class.
Okay.
And it was a small, intimate group. So it was actually a round table. So we just sat, and it was just amazing having just, barriers down and just be able to have that conversation. And it wasn't like a lecture.
Yeah.
We were just all part of it together.
I think the round table stuff is the best, right? Like I push all the time. My podcast, we talk about, how events can be better, not just in trade shows, but events in general. And I always say like peer-to-peer, round table, 12 people max, throw a problem on the wall and just all start talking about it. It's nothing more fun. It gets people energized and it's a blast.
Yes, and it's just like I said, it's not stressful. You don't feel the pressure of like raising your hand and being wrong.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Nice. Speaking of stress.
Yes.
What keeps you up at night as an event marketer?
Oh, all the things, right? But I would say right now, my biggest stress is freight. Honestly, just freight, making sure things are getting where they need to be and on time and and intact.
Yes.
So that is probably my biggest stress right now.
Freight's a challenge. You should talk to Liz, my director of account management, about freight. She loves it too.
Right. Love is a strong adjective. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything in particular you're struggling with?
Struggling. I think it's just probably from show to show, the cost has gone up so much. Everything is so expensive. So trying to align that with your budget right now is really difficult.
Do you know who Jessica Sabila is? I'm
not familiar with her.
I'm Jessica's hype man at this point.
Okay.
I am. Jessica, I am your hype man right now. She was on the show today earlier as well. I know her. She nonprofit called the Exhibitor Advocate.
Okay.
She's heading it up. It's all about advocacy for exhibitors, problems with rising costs, bridging sort of the gap between exhibitors, associations, GCs, so organizers, and kind of, you should look her up on LinkedIn. There's also a podcast episode on my podcast where she came on and she dropped some really good stuff that would be really valuable.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes.
We definitely need an advocate for sure.
Yeah, she's it. Tell me a little bit like personal experience for you in trade shows and events. What's like something real memorable?
I was actually just thinking about it today. My history, I used to work for an exhibit house. And so one of my first clients that I worked with, they did huge shows in farm fields.
Okay.
And I just heard somebody on the escalator like, I'll see you at Farm Progress. And it brought back a lot of memories of having, that 50 by 60 air conditioned tent in the middle of a farm field.
Yep.
But just how we could pull it together, get everything up, have the fun interaction with the crowd out front. That's probably my most memorable just because it was the craziest thing I had done at that time.
Seeing stuff come to life like that is really cool, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. When it's like you're designing it and going through the whole staging process and you're like, that'll never work.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like the best event ever.
I think people in events kind of get a high off that stuff. Like,
100%.
If you're in events, you love it.
And it's like your little baby. It's like you're so proud of it.
I think it's interesting how in events, all this time, all this planning, everything we do just for like a day or
It
2
is.
days, or we've had stuff that go up for 6 hours and down.
And it's crazy.
It is.
It's like, how do you do it in that amount of
I know.
time and then make it successful?
You could do something for 6 months, longer, and then it could be up for a day.
Right.
Crazy. What's maybe like some of your any like good ideas, strategies when it comes to trade shows, events, anything that you've done that you think you've executed well?
I have the same template for every show, whether
Okay.
it's big, small, domestic, international.
Mhm.
I go through the same checklist for all of them.
Okay.
Not every component applies
Mhm.
to every show, but it's just me in that routine so I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
So it's from ordering your show services, your freight deadlines, when it needs to be picked up so it doesn't get forced
Yeah.
at the end of the show. All of those items to, your badge registration,
Yep.
making sure you can get your staff in the nicest hotel possible, all of those things.
Nice. Anything like on the floor, maybe engaging with your customers, anything in that space?
As far as in that space, usually the engagement point is whatever product we're selling
Yeah.
or pushing at that point. So that's usually the draw for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the show floor, I mean, as far as challenges and whatnot, is that kind of,
Yeah.
I think, again, it's just making sure that you're meeting your deadlines and being clear, making sure you get your orders in
Yeah.
time, making sure everything's there.
Any shifts you're seeing in events and trade shows or anything you're expecting in the next 5 years? Any trends, anything like that?
One strange trend I've seen, shows that have typically been in one location are now moving to other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a big shift. I
Mhm.
mean, that could even be said about the show itself,
Yeah.
being in a different location for the first time.
Yeah.
But we have one that bounces back every other year, and now they've decided to stay in Vegas versus bouncing.
Really?
So I don't know if Vegas is making its big comeback again. So that would be nice to see. I also see that there are a lot of, I'm learning more about remote type options too,
Okay.
especially internationally,
Yeah.
where you will train on-site people to do what your
Okay.
sales team would do
Yeah.
to be more cost effective
Nice.
and do it that way.
Have you done that yet, or are you just starting to
No,
like
I'm
lean into it, or
just
you're
learning about it now. So I'm
Nice.
thinking, in the past, there have been opportunities that we've missed out on just due to cost of
Yeah.
trying to get staff there. So to see what alternatives are to
Yeah.
capture those leads and get, our message out without us being there.
Is that something maybe you've took from this show that's like actionable right away for you?
Yes, it's actually
Very
something I
cool.
learned in one of my international classes. So yeah,
great.
very, very current.
You're going to apply it right away.
I hope to, yes.
That's great. So some of the conversations I'm having with event marketers in the classes, being on the floor, technology, conversations with pretty much anybody is what can they take and go apply tomorrow? What
Right.
can they apply in 6 months? That's a good one.
Yes. And I think also too is, like you said, the technology too,
Mhm.
even just social media, like
Mhm.
what is best practices for that right now
Yeah.
and how to really utilize that snippet that you get to attract someone and get your message out.
It's awesome. You have any advice to like younger event marketers? Anybody just starting out? Obviously, you've
Don't do it. No, just
don't
kidding.
do it. Don't do
No,
it.
just kidding. Stick with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's hard. Try to find that good mentor who's going to be your advocate and help
That's a
you.
big one.
Yes, it's huge. That was very key to me starting out, is that I had someone who believed in me.
You did?
Yes.
Nice.
And who wanted me to succeed and be the best possible version.
Mhm.
So absolutely, if there's someone who's willing to take you under your wing, snap it up.
Yeah. I like that. Is this an event you're coming back to, you think?
I hope so. This
Year
is a
end
great
over year
event.
end? Yeah.
This is a great event. I think it's important for a couple different things. A, see what's new and upcoming and
Yeah.
trendy ahead of the time, ahead of the game, and before you make those decisions to make your next big purchase for a booth and your properties. Also, I find that the sessions are very current day time. And the topics that are covered are incredibly helpful, and that everybody's experiencing something that you are. So you can piggyback off of that with your connections.
Nice. Anything maybe you'd like to see done differently next year at this show, or something added to it, or something you missed this year maybe?
You know what? I can't think of anything. I think it's been very
Good.
well received this year. Louisville is absolutely charming. This
It
has been a
is.
great town.
I like Louisville.
Yeah,
I do.
I had never been before, so this has been really fun for me just to explore. But everything's been set up and everything's so just walkable, and
Yeah.
it's just the sessions and the breaks and everything is just really well organized and planned out.
I'm glad to hear that. Nicole, thanks for jumping on with us. Thanks for
Yes,
talking with
thank you for
us
having
about
me.
your experience. Yeah. Hope to see you next year as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for being on with us.
You're welcome.